That are getting ready to buzz over his way, and he better start shooting with these dualies very soon. Molotov sails by. Second flashbang is good to keep him blind, and he's given up his location. The audio cue sent out. Axel with a quick one, and Rez are going to be smoked off soon. Isolated duel for Buster, and the quick double tap on the head will be all it takes to bring him down there. He's dead. Brolin, config, the big two, but now just the big one. And I feel like this is going to be a big one to run away from and just try and save this Kevlar for either one of these players.
Yeah, pretty solid. Just execute onto this B-bomb site, not getting anything for their efforts. Alexi just trying to tuck himself into a nice little cheesy angle to get away with one extra kill. Could find two if NaVi's not too careful. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you had to go and jinx it, Michael.
Yeah, well, it should...
Side though, Alexi's nearby as well with the grenade. He can try and go for the bomb denial. There's an incendiary here. Scaling up will be nearly impossible. This is not going to look like a pretty side at all. One-way smoke or not, there's no reason for Nip to contest this so late into the round. There's 20 seconds left. You don't have flashes ready to flush out config, and Hedrick has found a timing where he's gotten two as well. This is just a round falling apart. C9 back to save. They go. Previous round was the ATM. This time it's more of a checking account, but Brolin might want to make sure that this bank fails.
Yeah, explore their options, but had a distance duel that they can utilize. No AWP for Shiro. Brolin getting assertive.
Oh, this could be dangerous. This could be really tough. They're going to be on the reload pretty soon as well. NaVi good for one, but he doesn't know. The sneak attack coming their way very soon. Hobbit's trying to keep an eye out for it. Brolin, though. Come on, Brolin. You know, you want to be able to commit to this one, but instead fades away and backs off. There's no extra support from Ramp. Hedrick is gone. Brolin all alone on the A-bomb site. Config's rotation will at least be timely. Brolin not forced to contend, but as soon as he even shows an elbow, Shiro's more than happy to take him down. Grenade will be peppering him, but Shiro's not ready to be cooked up yet.
Yeah, thanks for the AWP. Courtesy Hedrick. They bought this just for him, because Hedrick found nothing on his AWP. Cloud9 doing a very good job. Solid entry there from NaVi. The follow-up was fantastic as well. And thought for sure Brolin was going to get the drop on at least one of those players on at ramp. But missed the timing. Didn't see NaVi creep close to the smoke. They thought they had it. Yeah, just hemorrhaging players after losing that opening exchange. So they move to save. A comfortable third round here for Cloud9. This reinvestment has paid dividends, and even being able to get that upgrade on the AWP will be substantial moving forward. NIP do have enough in the tank to repeat
Crawleys.
Yeah, ramp util as well will keep these A players busy, but they actually want to try and get ahead of the util that's sailing out while pressure's building on B. Oh, well, good pick there from Rez, but a counter kill almost instant.
Config's nowhere nearby as well. He's actually gone aggressive in through middle, but the flashbang gives time for them to push through as Axel himself was flashed off. Now, Brolin still left to contend with this one single A-sided player. It's Axel to fall, Config to eliminate, peeking forward, Buster, shoulder spotted out, but not actually taken down. Axel, his demise does mean that this B-bomb set becomes so much more difficult to actually attain. Alexi's also nearby, Config still striking true and strong. Hedrick providing another shoulder to die on, and Buster will be more than happy to take it. 15 seconds, Hobbit's got to save.
Much faster this time over from Cloud9, and Shiro even covering NaVi, trying to turn from flashes.
Plan is to try and recover the frag through alley, and wait. Is Config on the boost? In middle? No, he's just holding an off angle. Never mind. Got a bit confused with the boxes there. Still the A-side hit being planned out, and this is very well positioned from Nip regardless of the man-down situation. This could very well be just a quick flashbang forward to try and recover that quickly. Now, C9 with no one actually lurking back over towards the B-bomb side as well have to be careful for an eventual flank to maybe come through. We know that Config can be more than happy to try and commit to those, even though with a secondary op it becomes a little bit less likely. Seconds. Grenades being pulled. This is where every single timing matters. Molotov is great. It'll be isolating out long enough for Rez and Hedrick to try and close the distance. They've got to dodge bullets coming out from the team containers, and indeed they're able to do so. Alexi, the smoke's only got a couple of seconds left on it. He's already being tagged and fragged. Rez alone on the bomb site. Good only for the one. 2-1-3. Rez turns from the flashbang, wants to push through. It's between him and Config, and Config's up. Makes it all the more convincing of a case to try and save, but the Molotov backwards. Hobbit found out 2-on-2, and you know they want to go for it now. Deep nade, but it doesn't quite go all the way through where they needed it to. Shiro, light round peak is reserved in for him. Rez, however, does have a window for him to be able to defuse from behind, and they do tap it out. They do show it off. Rez going through. Has been caught out a few times over there as well, won't lie to you, and this might be one of them. NaVi, great angle to be able to find himself into. Just sneaks past. He's had the ramp number a few times over. Hobbit now found and brought down. Rez is only good for the one, so still a 3-on-3 maintained, only to be converted into an advantage for the T side. Cloud9, with the connection on Config, have a lot of room to maneuver around the map as well. Nip are committing to the rotate back towards the B bomb site. The grenade finds absolutely nothing, a bit premature from Alexi, as the bomb was nowhere close to being planted. Shiro finds the peak, and Hedrick's left behind to try and save the op as well.
Yeah, I wanted to go for this retake. If Alexi was able to chew it back to a 2-on-2, then Hedrick would have committed with him, but Alexi gone for free. Hedrick saving. So 4 now on the board here for Cloud9. Should be able to still buy up around this AWP. Be it there'll be some compromises, but just some good trading. You know, making their way up through B. Obviously, NaVi's entry on that A side helps sort of loosen the defenses slightly, but even with them getting double spotted in at ramp, you know, the quick kill there from Rez certainly helped them out in understanding what was ahead of them. Then, you know, Shiro gets that instant trade. Axile already boosted up. It was very well rehearsed in terms of what every player had to do once they got that kill. Now as well, losing the AWP does force NIP in a bit of a predicament.
Wow, they're opting to force buy into it. This is interesting. Listen, the pistols are great in this map. There's so many angles to work off of. So many close range fights that you can try and take around the smokes, right? That's where the pistols are supposed to flourish. But that being said, I am still surprised that they're not prioritizing the op a little bit more. Hedrick has been a better hand on it this game so far.
Yeah, also they would have come into the next round with 1900 loss bonus, and had they just floated their cash, could have ended up with some extra rifles, but yeah, wanted to fight for it in the here and now. Well, and already losing his duel, Hedrick will swoop on in to make that rifle his own.
One-way setup. I'm curious to see whether Hobbit tries to go for an earlier activation back towards middle. Config being swayed away from it is something that hasn't really been read into to the same extent that we might have seen on something like Inferno, where obviously Hobbit was really good about reading when Config was moving back to arches. But they're giving Nip a lot of rope. Question is, will Nip be drawing and quartering themselves out on it?
They've stacked the B bomb side. They just left Rez in charge. They left him with extra util, and he's been trying to do his best to keep him busy, and NIP have the right call.
Missed that Molotov makes it all the easier. Hedrick good for one. Alexi from the side coming in. The flash is great, but his aim fails him at that moment. 20 seconds is all they've got, so the B bomb side has to be the commitment. Rez finds Hobbit. Not quite the frag for Config. Config's playing the closer angle to try and duo up with Hedrick. In the meanwhile, Shiro's demise has met the op. Perhaps
Brolin doesn't really hang around, but Alexi B is right behind him for what is a little bit of re-aggression. Only the sandbags they'll insert, but Hobbit Axile have found their respective kills. Brolin taken out of the equation. Will they account that Alexi is right by him and also taking up the exact same position?
Seems unlikely, but at the same time, I mean, you don't have Molotov, you don't have anything else. If I'm Cloud9, I feel like double-checking sandbags just because of the lack of utility might be something they go for, but at the same time, information given up. Alexi knows where they are, knows that it's being lined up and ready to go. Flashbang would be quite nice to have, but Headtrick's the only one who can deploy, will not be doing so. Alexi holds on to the trigger, good for 1-2, and bottom of the hole. Feels like
NiP got away with one of these, so...
I mean, I guess. Well, maybe that's one way to do it. Brolin found out and brought down.
Punished for his aggression, either by NaVi or Hobbit. This time it was just a haphazard spam. Now they will Molotov the sandbags just to be extra careful.
Fool me once,
your old
shame
tricks.
on me. Fool me twice, flame on you. Missed Molotov is actually very significant over there. If it, maybe... Was it missed? Because I can hear it burning. Okay, I also heard it being extinguished. I'm getting confused by audio, Michael. That's just Vertigo for you. But also me. Maybe more than anything else.
Yeah, the combo is hard to deal with.
Slow push up from ramping, ready and prepped up. 30 seconds. This is so creeping, crawling from Cloud9. Nip has got to hit their shots. There's nothing else to do about it. Rez is the only one with utility, and he is so far away. When he said, guys, you really should be going for the commitment soon, and they're hoping that rotations away would have happened, but now that the commitment is coming through, the double alley position will be incredibly hard to maintain. Buster leading the charge with the AK. Shadow spotted out, but he gets the frag. Headtrick now could be caught out. Good for the one, switching out back to the second angle. Bomb yet to be planted. They cannot find it and put it down. What's going on here? Cloud9 will have to... Difficult if the flashes don't catch out Brolin. He's not looking to catch them at all, though. He just repositions right back to sandbags in the defensive position as where he is punished for it. Headtrick can only cover off a long-range angle back to Ali, and that's where Alexi wants to try and recontest in.
20 seconds once again, and Config finally gets the kill on the mid lurk, able to upgrade his way into an AK. Alexi just holding his spot, and he's got teammates right behind him as well. Hobbit finally able to trade, but there's no util left on this bomb site, no safe coverage to get this plant down, and even just trying to prevent Headtrick from denying the bomb, that was key. That's the kill they need, and that's a 10th attained here for NiP. There's no ifs or squads. 2 smokes, a flash, a kit. The nades are great onto Hobbit, but that's the majority of the offensive utility already extinguished from the NiP side. But all this presence, not a whole lot of footsteps. Finally, Buster makes contact.
Contact, yes. Kills, no. Now we'll have to try and make up for it, but Brolin's taking his head out. Hobbit and Axel are able to find a kill apiece, but there is Nathani traded out. Axel still alive at the back of the bomb site, smoking himself off, trying to dart around the metal, but it's just not happening. The beams not giving him enough protection, and Shiro's left in a 1-on-3 all alone. The double swing getting lined up and ready to go. Config playing in from the back line. Shiro looking for cash. That's what he's all about, because that is the only objective that is still left to be able to be acquired in this round, and even that looks to be falling by the wayside. Config, what an angle to have. Wow, that's a nice shot.
WP will be denied information as well over at B. Roland lost a lot of these duels on CT, and T-side, well, it doesn't treat him much better.
NaVi's been having a very good read on him overall this game. Unfortunately, not quite the same can be said about the rest of the map and how it's been faring.
And it's clear that's just the game plan for NiP, whether it's on T side or CT, for him to be that aggressive prong. Other players are right behind him to trade very frequently. Even when he was losing those duels, very often NiP would recover. He is merely a tool for information. And potentially kills if he can get them.
Sounds like a pretty multi-dimensional tool.
See if this Danish knife cuts a little deeper. Config over at Ivy. Smoke is good and well timed. Double flashes from Config. He's going to try and capitalize, jumping straight through into the loving arms of NaVi, who's found himself a secondary. 28 seconds and getting caught and ground to a halt on this ramp take.
They're also just being sandwiched in upon from either side, so this is just looking like it's going to be impossible. Hobbit pushes through the smoke. 2 quick kills found, makes it look free and easy. Alexi, if he can get the bomb plant, to be honest, that would have been good timing on the Molotov, but Instead, it's just rest to find the frag. Axel taken down. Buster now left all alone on the B-bomb site. So on that, Boost working out for the other side as well, but Buster's here. Great shot and backs off. He's been playing this side so well, but the flashes have been avoided. Nip reads into it, and now with the major advantage of 4 and 2, it's all bit of push out. Good for 1. Backs off as well, trying to duck and dive around the corners. The grenade's going to do damage, but not much beyond it. Hobbit has to finish it off. It's a full 2 on 4. They're bringing it all back. Headtrick's all that exists to try and stop them. Good for the 1, not for the second. Hobbit recovers.
What a what a stud, honestly. Just jumping through the smoke to try and create that room, that cave.
Side and middle or over here in the late round situations. Hobbit now caught and found out this is not how you want the round to start. And they're even looking to pop through the smoke. NaVi, the other side of things, is about to get heated up a fair bit. Alexi, there's a smoke in NaVi's hand to refresh. He's spotted out Alexi, and that is one IGL battle that's going the way of C9.
Yeah, great read there from NaVi. He just re-smokes it and it just stops the plan from NIP. Could have tried to phase that smoke himself just to get information about what NIP were doing, and I think that's what the plan was, to try and utilize those pistols to full effect. But they've got control of this B bomb site. Taking over the B steps was Buster, and he has to just maintain his position, keep himself alive for as long as humanly possible, because they can just surround, they can capture all the remaining NIP players if he's able to stay alive. But eventually vacated, Axel taking up his space, and now they know about him. They're so fixated on dealing with him, they were lunging to get rid of this presence, and now suddenly another flank. Shiro, AWP, not even needed. It's down to the 5-7. This is buying room for NaVi to creep in.
There's at least one freebie guaranteed. It has to be Hetrick to try and save the day. Rez should be gone, but around the corner will be fully cleared. Yes, no, it will be. The backpack spotted out. Hetrick good for another, and it's a quick defuse that he's going to commit to. There is no time. There's no kit. It's going to be so damn hard. Hetrick knows he can't actually fight for it. He has to rely purely on luck, and that luck is just not with him. NaVi gets the
Arsenal doing a good job of at least forcing them away from ramp. That's because mid control has been attained by NIP. NaVi counterkill. Brolin has been losing that head-to-head time and time out. And Axile as well punished on pushing through B. They know that they've got most of these A players captured, and Rez almost caught off, but able to adjust. This is a save call from Cloud9.
That looked like NaVi had the timing window for a second. That's the second time where Rez is barely just escaped the sidelines of NaVi, but this time will actually find the frag. Will they be able to save though is the big question, because obviously, look, it's a hype round to be winning in the previous and everything, sure, but C9, if they lose even one more rifle, it feels like Nip are guaranteed.
Overpass were going to be played, and they have come in prepped. Nobody really falling short as well for the NIP squad, which is so important. It's a part of why we talk about all the stars and stars to be on this NIP roster. When players lag behind, it does become a bit of an issue if it's a trend. And often trading places. This time, everyone fighting together. And Config having a solid game alongside Hetrick to open up a lot of these rounds. Whereas Alexi acting as security, I just don't see Cloud9 winning on pistols like this. NIP are being so meticulous.
They've got one win condition, and it has to be Shiro.
One-way smoke, that's down. Hetrick won't be the one to clear it, but Buster, his support has been dealt with. Hobbit trying to distract, pull attention away from Shiro, but he has to get his kill, and he can't. No success from either of them around those smokes, and Axile a 1-on-5 with this Deeg nade out. It's good damage. They were clustered together, but now receiving this MP9. I don't know if it's a godsend or a death sentence. It